Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us. It is another beautiful day for us. Thank you for joining this program, wherever you are joining from. I appreciate you and I thank you for being part of this very quick broadcast. It's our evening broadcast. It's a pity we've not been able to come online live here for some time. We've not been able to come live because of some other programs we have been having in other platforms. But today we've been able to make it, and we will use the time we have to pass the message we need to pass. Please, as you join us, like and share the program on your platform. Like and share the program to family and friends. Like and share the program to everyone that is close to you. Family and friends, anyone you can be able to reach out to, please reach out to them. The radical evangelism that we have signed up for is something we must continue to do. We must continue to evangelize and preach this gospel of Biafra. We must not hesitate in preaching this gospel. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, you must not be discouraged or distracted. So many things are happening on the Biafra restoration. One of the most important events that has unfolded today is a reality that we have all been running away from. One of the exposition that happened today is one of the realities that people are running away from. Something that has been happening and continue to happen. People pretend it is not happening. Nigerians pretend it's not happening. Even some Biafrans pretend it's not happening. But today, we have seen it openly before the whole world that what we have been speaking about for a very long time is a reality, and it is happening. What is that? I am talking about the Biafran Civil War. We have been saying for a very long time that the Civil War has not ended. The Biafran War has not ended. Some people pretend it has ended. We said the Biafran Civil War has not ended. They call us troublemaker. They say we don't know what we are talking about. But today, it has been proven that the Biafran Civil War has not yet ended. How can the Biafran War be over and the Chief of Army Staff in Nigeria will come out and declare jungle war against the Biafran people? The Chief of Army Staff, before the whole world, came out and declared jungle war against the Biafran people. And yet, some people believe that the war has ended. It has not. They only pretended. And they continue to fight that war secretly. The abduction of Biafrans have continued even after the civil war. The intimidation, the dehumanization, and every other thing that caused that war today than it was then. Even when people continue to pretend that it is not happening. But your pretense cannot change anything. Today, it is very clear that the war is still ongoing. Biafrans are losing their life in large scale. Biafrans are losing their life in many fronts, promoted and supported by Nigerian government. One of the recent ones is what happened in Okuama recently. Here we are talking about the Okuama community, how the community was completely destroyed by people who were supposed to protect them. They destroyed the city. As if that is not enough. Today we are seeing what is happening in Abia State. Genocide in broad daylight. The livelihood of Biafrans is destroyed. Biafrans are kidnapped in large number. Biafrans are taken away from their various homes. They go to the home of Biafran people, take them, abduct them, and eliminate them. Everything I'm saying here is on video. There are evidence to back up every single thing I'm saying. The evidence is on social media, even on their conventional media. You can see the evidence. As they continue to pretend the only way we are going to stop it is for us to face the reality of the day. Until we face the truth, this evil will continue to happen. Numerous people have lost their life in Biafra land as we speak. Not because they committed any crime. The only crime they committed is because they are Biafrans. Being a Biafran in Nigeria itself is a death penalty. It is not because we are saying it. We have seen Biafrans lose their life simply because they identified as Biafrans. Not because they are being violent, not because they committed a crime, only because they decided to be whom they are supposed to be. Today, the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazen Nandekano, is languishing in jail, in solitary confinement, because he is a Biafran. He has not committed any crime against anybody. He has not fought against any man. All he was doing is to create awareness and waking his people up and call for the right of his own people to make their choice. And today they are holding him in solitary confinement, torturing him for the past 3 years. Today we have another son of Biafra, the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, whose only message today is self-defense, calling on Biafran people to defend themselves. And those who feel that Biafrans has no right to defend themselves are calling for his head. The same way they called for the head of Mazen Nandekano when he was peacefully asking for the right for his people. He did not commit any crime. The only thing he asked for was the right of his people. But they felt he has no right to ask for that right. And because he has a right to ask for his right, he did what he has to do. Only after kidnapping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they begin to realize he has the right to ask for his freedom. But before he's kidnapped, they were calling for his head. Every single idiot today that comes online to praise Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, we are calling for his head, while he was peacefully asking for his own people to have right to decide their fate. They said he doesn't have any right to do that. They called for his head. Today, after they have succeeded in kidnapping him, after they have succeeded in destroying his life, holding him in captive, after they have succeeded in abusing his rights, they felt they have caged him. And all of a sudden, the same people who called for his head are coming out to praise him and say he was a good man. They're coming out to say, oh, he was peaceful. You didn't know that he was peaceful when you kidnapped him, right? You never knew he was peaceful when every one of you was calling for his head. Today, you are still calling for the head of somebody whose message is defend yourself. You are calling for the head of a man who has come to interpret the true meaning of self-defense to his own people. Because his people ignorantly refuse. And we are not able to know the true meaning of self-defense. All he did was to come and interpret the true meaning of self-defense to his people. And today they are calling for his head. The most painful one is that even people from his own region, fellow Biafrans, are also joining the enemies to call for his head. And because of this atrocity they are committing against him, they think he's going to do them any well. He's not going to do them any favor. It is going to get worse by day. The same way you thought that when you take Mazen Nnamdi Kanu out, you end Biafra. You thought when you take Mazen Nnamdi Kanu out, Biafra is all over. You celebrated it, you announced it, you felt you have won. And today, you woke up to realize that you have only speeded up the action of Biafra. And as we speak, Biafra restoration is making wave and gaining more ground than ever. And that will continue to happen. As we speak, the restoration of Biafra has a date. It is no longer a dream of a wish or a wishful thinking. Just like in the days of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, when he announced that we are going to march, they thought that when they take him out, the march will not take place. After the 150 days, we marched, and we are still marching up to today. Mazen Simon Ekpa announced that December 2nd, the declaration of the restoration of independence state of Biafra will be made. And no matter what you do, you cannot stop it. That declaration will be made, with or without you. Nobody can stop it. Nobody. The mandate of Biafra is coming from Chukwu Okike Abiama himself. And when you have such mandate, no man will stop, no matter how you try. The more you try, the more you fail. Every one of you, wherever you are on the planet Earth, and you think you can be able to change things, think again. You think you can change the Biafrans, you can scare them away from fighting for their freedom, that you can preach a wrong message from what they have known. We have passed through that stage. Even your terror cannot stop the coming of Biafra. You can continue to terrorize the Biafran people for all I care. Your terrorism cannot stop Biafra. No matter what you try to do, no matter the angle you are operating from, the only thing you can do is to accept the reality of today. That Biafra has come to stay. We have come a long way. People have died for this mission. Just like Mazen Nandekan was asked, and he was asked, is there anything that can be done so that we will stop talking about Biafra? Is there anything that can be said so that you can give up the struggle? Mazen Nandekan said it point blank. It is too late. We have lost a lot of lives. Many people have given their life for this. We have lost a lot of people. And nothing can be done. Not now. Nothing can be done. We are standing on that same point. Whatever you think you are doing today to stop Biafra is a waste of time. The terror you are unleashing on people in Abia State is a waste of time. What you are doing is to give them more reason to fight on. The terror you are unleashing on Biafrans in Abia State is only going to give them more strength and power to fight on. It is only going to give them more reason to pursue their freedom until they are free. No amount of propaganda or blackmail is going to stop us from going the direction of freedom. It is a pity that in a contraption called Nigeria, the citizens themselves have accepted slavery. They have accepted slavery as a way of life. They have accepted abuse as a way of life. They have accepted inhuman treatment as a way of life. No sensible person will accept that. They give an excuse that 5 soldiers lost their life in Abia State. And because of the 5 soldiers, today, thousands of Biafrans has to go. They didn't do it secretly. They come openly and say they declare jungle war against Biafran people. Every one of us know what a jungle war is. Jungle warfare, you know what it is. If you do not know what jungle warfare is, take your mind back to jungle justice. Jungle warfare can only be carried out in the state of war. And as we have always said, we are at war with Nigeria. When we say it, people say that we are blowing things out of proportion. When we say it, some people think we are making problems. When we say it, some people think we are not supposed to say it. But this is an undeniable truth. The Biafran war is still ongoing. And the only thing that Biafrans can do today to be alive is to defend themselves. The only thing we can do to be alive is to defend ourselves. Some of us fail to understand that. And because we have failed to understand this very fact, someone has come to interpret to us the legal way to protect and defend ourselves. I want to remind all Biafrans that there is nothing wrong in defending yourself. Self-defense is legal. Very, very legal. There is nothing illegal about self-defense. In fact, that is the most legal way for a man to succeed and live as a human. They are scared of our Prime Minister because he knows what they do not know. They are scared of the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, because he has interpreted the full meaning of self-defense to the Biafran people. He has been able to educate Biafrans on what they are supposed to do. That is why they are scared of him. And that is why they cannot have but continue to preach and talk down on him. They continue to give him bad names. They continue to make him look bad. But I thank you that the person they are talking about knows himself. The person they are talking about is prepared for the warfare. The more they try to talk down on the Master Simon Ekpa, the more they give him more strength to fight. We have seen him engage on a fearful battle for the past 3 years. Battles that are coming from all angles, home and abroad. It came to a time when the whole media in the contraption called Nigeria came together and they were going after one man. At a point, international media joined, all to bring down one man. There was a massive attack. They recruited people. Instead of bringing him down, they gave more strength to fight. And today, to the level he has brought us, you can see today is freedom, victory, freedom, victory, and nothing else. So my fellow Biafrans that are listening, do not get discouraged or distracted. No matter what you see or what you hear, always know that you are going to overcome. We are fighting a just battle. It does not matter what the enemies are talking or what they are saying. We shall overcome. They have brought their new tactics. The new tactics they brought is to distract you, to create distraction. That is new tactics. To make you be afraid of your freedom. They want to make you to be afraid of that thing you really want to have. They want to instill fear in you. But remember the word of our Prime Minister and the word of our Supreme Leader. Our Supreme Leader reminded us that we are fearless in the presence of our enemies. That is whom the Biafrans are. Very fearless in the presence of our enemy. So it doesn't matter what anybody is saying. We do not care. The more they try to make us to be afraid, the more we get stronger. The more they try to make us weak, the more we get stronger. We have come a very long way. We have passed this road through many times, and we succeeded. We are going to go through it one very last time. We are going to pass this through road one very last time. For the very last time, we are going to pass through this road. Every Biafran must prepare his mind. Prepare your soul. Prepare your heart. We are going to pass through this road again. And this time around, it is going to be a different ball game. Victory must surely come. Victory must surely come. The stage we are now is a time where we cannot afford to leave any stone unturned. If you know what you will do to support your freedom, this is the time. Don't say you were not told. Don't say you were not warned. The opportunity has presented itself for us to be free. We have to embrace it. If you will refuse to embrace this opportunity, you have yourself to blame. Don't blame anybody. Freedom doesn't come cheap. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And one of the responsibilities is what you are seeing today. What you are seeing happening today in Biafra land, in Abia State. The loss of life, the genocide, the terrorism that is being carried out by Nigerian government in Abia State today is one thing that you see, the price that people have to pay for their freedom. And I always say it, if you know that your freedom does not worth your life, you don't want to be free. If you are not ready to put your life on the line for your freedom, you are not yet ready to be free. You're not yet ready. Until you begin to see your freedom. Very important that you can put your life on the line. Only then and then we can know that you are serious. You are willing to be free. My fellow Biafrans, the battle is on. And the battle line is drawn. It does not matter the air that we see now, the breeze that is blowing. You will see a lot of things that is going to frighten you or discourage you as a Biafran, but I need you to be strong, be steadfast. Do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. Threat is going to be coming from all angles, from all corners. They are going to try to intimidate you, to oppress you, to talk down on you. But I urge you to be very, very strong. Do not be intimidated by what you will see or what you will hear. Do not allow them to intimidate you, because you have not seen nothing yet. Just when you thought you have seen it all, you wake up to realize and the battle have not even started. We are facing a very huge battle. And we are even going to face more as time goes on. We must learn to accept the reality of today. That freedom comes with sacrifice. And until you are ready to pay the sacrifice for freedom, then forget it. The joy I have today is Biafrans are aware of what they are going into. And many Biafrans are well ready to pay that sacrifice. It is something we are doing for our children unborn. It is something we have signed up for already. And for the fact that we have signed up for this, no man is going to stop us from doing what we are supposed to do. The battle might take longer than we expect, but we will not give up. Giving up is not one of the things anyone should consider. There will be ups and downs, but I bet you victory is sure. A lot of things are going to be happening going forward. So many informations you don't expect are going to be coming out. But for the fact that things are not happening your own way does not mean that things are not happening. The only help you can give to yourself today is open up your heart to informations. As for those of us who are working under the Biafra Republic of Exile, those of us who are pushing the gospel, we will continue to give you updates as much as we can. Then it's left for you to key in into the updates. If you key in and pay attention, you will never be taken by surprise. But if you feel you want to remain in propaganda and blackmail, you want to remain on your ignorance, you want to continue to preach your falsehood, it's up to you. You have right to every decision you take. But I want to let you know that there is consequence to every single decision you have made. And for any decision you make in life, you must be ready for the consequence of your decision. Today, the Biafran people are taking the decision to be free. So many of us today who are fighting for this freedom, working this freedom, at the end of the day might not be there to celebrate this freedom. Many of us might not be there at the end of the day. Some of us will not be there. But that does not change anything. One of the most important things we must know is that this is about collective interest. It is not about selfish interest. For those who are selfish, who think it's about them, they wouldn't make the commitments. Or for people who knows what it takes, who cares about humanity, they will always support the cause of Biafra. And they will fight as hard as they can to see that Biafra becomes a reality. Today, some people see the agitators as people who are jobless and who doesn't know what they are doing. Time shall tell. Tomorrow is going to speak for us. And at the end of the day, every single one of us that have played a role on this very restoration of Biafra will be glad we did. Time will come when we'll look back and we'll be happy and we'll say, oh, we did what we are supposed to do. Time is going to come when we will look back and we say, our choice was the right choice. My fellow Biafran that are watching anywhere you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike to stand strong and never give up. No matter the challenges you face, no matter the obstacles that comes your way, no matter the trials and temptation you're going to face, never give up and do not be discouraged. Life might be difficult for now. It might look so tough and difficult for now. But in time to come, I bet you'll be happy you did what you are doing today. We are in the days that battle need to be fought and won. And we are ready to fight our battle and win it. Every Biafran, wherever you are, you must be prepared to win your battle. Be very prepared to win your battle. Don't be discouraged. Is it going to be easy? It is not going to be easy, and it has never ever been easy at any point in time. Nothing good comes out easily. Before gold became what it is, it passed through fire. The gold passed through fire, refined, before it became gold. So nothing good comes easily. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike to please stay strong and focused. No matter the distraction you are going to see. Never give up. Will there be distraction? There will be distraction. There will be massive, massive distraction that will be coming from right, left, and center, from unexpected angles. But as long as you never give up, as long as you stand your ground, as long as you continue to do that which you are supposed to do, you will always have a reason to stand front and fight on. And for the fact that you are standing on, you'll be glad you did. Every decision you are taking today to stand up for your rights, to stand up for the truth, is the right decision. Whatever decision you are taking today is the right decision. Do not be discouraged. Even when the road seems too tough and difficult, do not be discouraged. At the end of the road, there is going to be a light. My message to every Biafran today that is in Abia State, former Abia State, stay strong. Do not be discouraged. The Egyptian you are seeing today, you shall see no more in a very short time. The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, have already announced the release of 3,000 men. 3,000 well-trained able men have been dispatched in the 40 states of Biafra to defend and prevent the genocide happening in Biafra land. And that defense will continue to happen until we go home. If you do not know the reason why these things are happening, you should have known by now. When they saw that the Biafran people are giving their mandates to Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, when they saw the mandate that the Biafran people gave to the Prime Minister, all hell broke loose. They began to preach in all their angles. They began to push their propaganda. They began to push their blackmails. All hell broke loose. They have seen that their propaganda is no longer working. Now they want to instill fear. They want to bring terror in Biafra land. That is why they are committing genocide. Look at the video that our Prime Minister posted on his platform. They came to debunk that video and they said that that did not happen in Okigwe. They said it happened in the Southwest. And they called it never training. I want every one of you to go to the platform of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, watch that video and tell me if that was a training. Go and tell me if that was a training. It wasn't a training at all. That was not a training and has never been. How could anybody call that a training? A place where you saw the military standing on a bridge. They were standing on a bridge, on a major road. They blocked the cars from coming and going. And they put a machine gun on top of the river and they were shooting directly to the innocent soul they have pushed into the river. We are able to get this information because it has happened before. Remember the Biafrans that were murdered in the Izu River? One thing with us is that we forget so easily. So many of us Biafrans forget so easily. You forget so easily. That is why somebody will come and tell you to forgive and forget. And that is said, thunder fire you there. Thunder fire you there for telling me to forgive and forget. That is the word of our brother Abi. And I told his own line. I agree with him 100%. Thunder fire you there for telling me to forgive and forget. Forgive what? And forget what? I should forget who I am, huh? That's what you want. I should forget your atrocities in Biafra land. I should forget all your evil. I should forget your dehumanization. I will never forget. Forgiving is in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Only Chukwu Okike Abiyama has the right to forgive, and not me. It's not in my hands to forgive. And you cannot force people to make such choice of either forgiving or not to forgive. The people have to make up their mind to decide if they are going to let go or not. And before ever anybody will talk about forgiveness, there must be repentance. Why are you not talking about repentance? Why is it that repentance is not being spoken about? Have anybody in Nigeria repented of the evil atrocity they committed against Biafran people? Has anybody talked about it? The people who perpetrated the genocide in Biafran land from 1967 till date, they are being celebrated. Their name is based in everywhere in the corners of that very country, celebrated as heroes. The people that took innocent lives, committed genocide, people who are supposed to be rotting in hell, they are being celebrated in that country called Nigeria. Today, your international airport is named after one of the people that perpetrated genocide. The man that superheaded the Asaba massacre. They celebrate him with an international airport. A slap on the face of the innocent. And you want us to pretend it is not happening. You want us to pretend all is well. Keep trying. Keep trying. Biafrans are not pretenders. And when we talk about Biafrans, we know those who are Biafrans. Some people say that nobody is more Biafran than others. It's a lie. There are people who are more Biafran than the others. There are people who are more Biafran than the others. If you know that nobody is more Biafran than you, wake up and do what you're supposed to do. If there are no Biafrans more Biafran than others, you won't see me coming here to preach and talk to my fellow Biafrans. There are people who are more Biafran than others. That's why we have people in the media. That's why you have somebody like our supreme leader, Mazen Nandekano. That is why you have somebody like our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa. It is because there are people who are much more Biafran than the others. And you cannot deny that. You cannot. The more you try to deny that, the more you begin to see the reality before you. That there are people who are much more Biafra than the others. Today we can see those people standing up for what is right, demanding for their rights, making sure that that which is theirs is given to them. So my fellow Biafrans that are watching, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama never to get distracted. Do not allow anyone to deceive you. Do not allow anyone to bring you down. Do not allow anyone to tell you what is not existing. There are some realities of life that you cannot deny. One thing that every genuine Biafran should know is that Nigeria is not for you. Stop pretending. Stop pretending. Because of what you think you are gaining now, you will be much, much better without the contraption called Nigeria. Every indigenous person in Nigeria today will be much, much better without that name called Nigeria. Each time you identify yourself with the name Nigeria, you are making yourself vulnerable. And you're taking yourself out of the glory. Every one of us should know this. Each time you continue to associate yourself with the present day, each time you continue to associate yourself with Nigeria, you are putting yourself down. You can be much, much better without Nigeria. You can be much, much better without Nigeria. You can do more exploits. You can prosper without Nigeria. The enslavement you are in today is because of Nigeria. And this is applicable to every tribe, every indigenous person. When we are asking for the end to Nigeria, it is not a selfish request. It is not out of our selfishness. It's not because of our resources. The request to end the zoo is not because we have resources. It's not because of the resources buried on the ground. Who cares? There are so many countries that are doing very, very well, excellently well today without a single resources on the ground. And if anybody tells you that you're better united, you are a mad person. Anybody that is telling you that you are better together, that person is a mad person. That person is the greatest liar of all the earth. Disintegration remains the only solution to the situation of the zoo today. And until that is done, the evil called Nigeria will continue to hold everybody down. Until Nigeria disintegrates, that evil will continue to hold everybody down. It is not a selfish request. In fact, the people that cares about the indigenous people in Nigeria today are the people requesting to end Nigeria. Those are the only people who care about human life. Because the purpose of Nigeria is to keep people into captivity and continue to create chaos. When you take people that doesn't have the same value system and force them together, you are only going to create a time bomb that will explode. It doesn't matter how long it takes. People that do not have the same value system, they have nothing in common, and you force them to be together, you only succeeded in creating a time bomb that will definitely explode. Just a question of time. That is what we are seeing today in the zoo. So the people that cares about human life, that want to save life, that want to save humanity, that want to save black race, are the people calling for disintegration of Nigeria. The disintegration of Nigeria will mark the beginning of the resurrection of Africa. The disintegration of the zoo will mark the beginning of the resurrection of Africa. Africa will never grow or know their right in the world until Biafra gets out of the zoological republic called Nigeria. The West have a reason why they are keeping Nigeria, even when they know Nigeria is not viable. That is one of the weapons they are using to oppress the black race. Remember, when you read on history, the main purpose why Nigeria was created was to create an economic area. They want to create a very massive black African economic area where they can use to manipulate other African countries. That was the main reason why the amalgamation was done. They wanted to create a vast environment, a place that they have large number of black people, so that they can use that very environment to manipulate every other people around. That was the purpose of creating Nigeria. Nigeria was not created for the citizens or for the indigenous people to make them grow or to make them better. They were created as a product to use and manipulate others. And they are doing that tomorrow. That was why you saw when Niger people were fighting for their freedom. Niger people were trying to take themselves away from the colonial master. What did they do? They turned to Nigeria and they told Nigeria to go and wage war through the ECOWAS. And God saved them that they didn't go. When they saw that Niger are determined and prepared, and they know that some other African countries, Francophone countries, are aware and ready to support Niger, they backed out. The empty threats did not move the Niger people. This is the strategy they have been using for a long time. And that is why Nigeria was created, to use them to manipulate other African countries. And until Nigeria disintegrates, Africa will never know good. Take it from me. Any day you hear that Nigeria have disintegrated, then you mark a new beginning, a new dawn in Africa. Africa will take its position in the world. Then you see people who can stand up and speak as an independent state. As it stands today, there is no African country that is independent. None. No single African country is independent. None. No one. If you think there is one, can you please write on the comment section and tell me the one that you feel is independent? No African country is independent. They are all slaves. The only African country that enjoyed independence before was the same Biafra, 3 good years. And they fought them. Within that 3 years of independence, Biafra did a great exploit. They did invention. They participated, they produced a lot of things. Their scientists went to work and they did great work for 3 good years on their own without the help of anybody. Another country that enjoyed little independence was Libya under Muammar Gaddafi. You can hate Gaddafi for all I care. You can call him different kinds of names. You can blackmail him, name him whatever you want to name him. Gaddafi remains one African man that enjoyed independence in his country. And you know what they did to him? They gave him sanctions for many years. But are you surprised that in the midst of their sanction to Muammar Gaddafi did not owe any country a dime. Instead, they were still borrowing money from him and they are owing him. Even in the midst of the sanction. Up to today, some of the Western countries are owing Libya. More especially, Italy. Italy is owing Libya. Up to this moment, they are owing. Italy is owing Libya. Up to this moment, as we say. Gaddafi was the only man who enjoyed true independence. And you see how they deserted him. Every one of them turned against Gaddafi. They gave him sanctions. But in the midst of the sanction, he did not borrow a dime from them. He was still borrowing them money. In the midst of the sanction, his people were living excellently well. I am not telling you that they told me. I have been to that country, Libya. During the time of Muammar Gaddafi, I went there. I was there. So I'm telling you what I saw. People were enjoying a lot of things over there during the time of Muammar Gaddafi. Families are paid money. Every single citizen of Libya has a part of their money from the oil. a certain amount of money is paid to every single one of them. In Libya, every citizen is entitled to own any property you want to own. If you want to buy a car, the government is going to pay half of the money for you. Electricity is free. Hospitality is free. Education is free, including trade. If you want to trade, they are going to support you. You want to read abroad, they will sponsor you. You want to go into agriculture, the government will sponsor you in agriculture fully. This was the situation of Libya before the West came in and began to pollute the mind of some idiots who, out of their envy and jealousy, thought that they were not in control. And because of that, what did you see? They preached hatred. And they used his own people to take him out. Today, go back to Libya and see what is happening in Libya. Go back to Libya today and see what is happening. It has become a desert that it was before. Hunger, poverty, and penury has taken over the land. Insecurity has become the order of the day. The same people that encouraged them to take out a man that brought legitimate independence to them, today, where is he? They took him out. How independent is Libya today? One of the major reasons why they took Gaddafi out, because Gaddafi was being a good example to other African countries. He was teaching Africans on how to be independent. He went further to establish the Bank of Africa. He wanted to take away the World Bank power and bring it to Africa, because Africa has the wealth. Gaddafi began to preach a message they do not like, majorly to hand over the economic power to Africa. That was the target of Muammar Gaddafi. He didn't have anything to do with the West, and he didn't need to learn from them. They became angry, and they preached against him. They worked against him. They did all manner of evil against him to take him out. But hey, go back to that same land called Libya and see how it is. And the West are okay with it. They are happy with it. Today, Libya is in chaos. Disunity is the order of the day. Hunger has just come back. Abuse of resources has not come back. Now the West have the opportunity to go in and milk their oil as much as they can without anybody measuring or questioning them. The same way they are sucking other African countries. I can bet you that in Nigeria today, nobody measures the amount of oil that goes to the British. Nobody measures the amount of oil that goes to the British. Nobody cares. And if you dare talk about the measurements, you become an enemy. This is why Muammar Gaddafi was taken out. The only man that enjoyed independence on his own. And he was able to survive till the minute they killed him. He never borrowed money. He is not owing anybody. Libya owed no man. Instead, people were owing them. European countries were owing him up to this minute. We must learn to do the right thing. The purpose of creating Nigeria was to put the African countries in captivity. And until we begin to reason properly, it is going to get worse. The more Nigeria continue to be together, the more captivity the African countries continue to be. When you break up Nigeria, you are breaking up the stronghold of the West in Africa. That is why I see people who are talking, who say they are Pan-Africanists. If you are a Pan-Africanist and you are supporting Nigeria, you don't know what you are doing. You are missing it. If you say you are a Pan-African and you are supporting the existence of Nigeria, you don't know what you want. Look at the Nigeria we are talking about. All of a sudden, somebody woke up and brought back the colonial masters' national anthem. Just imagine. Look at the country you call a giant, the country you're supposed to use as an example. They wake up and they took back the colonial masters' national anthem. While every other country is busy changing their names, taking out everything that represents the colonial masters in their midst, we woke up and saw somebody who claimed to be a president and a leader going back to the colonial masters' national anthem. And he said that his own national anthem is no longer obtainable. And yet, you see ignorant people still looking up to that idiot. You see ignorant people still foolishly and stupidly promoting that evil agenda. Nothing will ever come out of Nigeria. Nothing. If you care about the African nations, pray for the disintegration of Nigeria. Do everything you can to see that Nigeria disintegrates. Once you disintegrate Nigeria, you will destroy the interests of the zoo and the stronghold of the colonial master in Africa. When you destroy their stronghold, then we have no choice than to begin to think well. Today, the French have lost Burkina, they lost Niger. And the British think they are too smart that they cannot lose Nigeria. Nigeria has come to an end. And the Biafrans will make that happen. For those who care and for those who want the truth. Every one of you that sincerely and genuinely pursue the truth, the time has come for every one of us to play our own role. Be a part of that freedom. Be a part of that success. Be a part of that good life you want. If you genuinely care about humanity, be a part of those who are talking about the end of the zoo. We are in 21st century. No sensible person will be going back to his colonial master to be recolonized again. But that is exactly what Nigeria is doing. May Chukwu Okike Abiam continue to guide and protect every one of us. I urge every one of you as Biafrans to be steadfast. Do not be discouraged. Do not be deceived. Do not be cajoled. When you see the evil that they are preaching, when you see the atrocities they are committing, do not look away. You don't know who is going to be tomorrow. You don't know who is going to be. Because you don't know who is going to be the next person online, you must fight when you have the opportunity. You must fight now that you have the opportunity. If you don't, you are going to pay a heavy price. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that have joined me on this very broadcast. But the most important thing you must know is that We have made up our mind to walk out of the zoo, and no man born of a woman will stop us from walking away. It does not matter what they say. It does not matter the message they preach. It doesn't matter the propaganda or blackmail. We can never be pushed back into that terror again. We have chosen our own path. And the path we have chosen today is the path of safety and security. We are going to take that path until we are completely free. If you have not yet casted your vote on the self-referendum, please go and cast your vote. The second stage is now open. If you have not voted on the first stage, at this second stage, there's no need to wait. You can see every battle we are facing today is as a result of the success of the self-referendum. They will tell you it doesn't matter. They will tell you that the self-referendum doesn't mean anything. Oh, whether you vote, it doesn't mean anything. After all, you're not doing it on the ground. But today, you see the kind of attack they are bringing upon us simply because they saw the success that we have made. Because of the success we have made, they can't handle it. And they are bringing attack from right, left, and center. Massive attack. What you see today happening in Abia State has a lot to do with the self-referendum. It is not just about the death of the so-called military. Within that same period, 7 soldiers lost their life in the north. What did they do? They turned a blind eye as if they didn't do it. They didn't know it. The soldiers are losing their lives on daily basis. Even in Imo State. As we speak, in Imo State, we are giving them woto in Imo State. They don't even announce it at all. The Liberation Army is dealing with them in Imo State on daily basis. They don't even announce it. So don't think that it is just about it is about the self-referendum. What you are seeing in Abia State today is about the self-referendum. It is not just about what you are thinking. It is not. It's not what you are thinking. It is about the self-referendum. And no matter what they do, no matter what they say, we cannot allow them to stop us. It will not change our stance. It will not change our levels. That will make you to do more. Those who have not voted, go and vote. Go and vote if you are not voting. What is happening today is as a result of the vote. They know that as it stands today, nobody can force Biafrans to remain in Nigeria. With the massive mandate that is given to Biafra today, with more than 40 million counting that has voted on the self-referendum, nothing is going to stop the coming of Biafra. Nothing under the planet Earth. Nothing. Only God. Only God in heaven can. No human being on the planet Earth can stop it. So, wherever you are today as a Biafran, you must be strong. You must know what you want. You must be proud of yourself. Do not get discouraged. Do not get weak. Continue to pursue that which is right. We are standing on our legitimate rights. And I tell you that the beauty of it all is that everything today is done legally. There is no single thing that is done today that is illegal. It does not matter what anybody is saying. No single operation that is done today that is illegal. But I want you to believe that it's things we are doing are illegal. What I would like you to do is that before you believe those nonsense, make your inquiries and investigation. Do your own inquiries and investigation. After then and then, you can now go and make your points. Do not just believe on what people are telling you. Don't just believe because they said it. You have to do your own part. My fellow Biafrans, I call on every one of you, wherever you are watching me from, to please stay strong. Do not be discouraged, and don't give up. Temptations are going to come. Obstacles are going to come. Hindrances are going to come. Attacks are going to come. But do not be discouraged. Do not be discouraged. No matter what you hear or what you see, the sky will be getting for us. We have come a very long way. And we continue to make. The restoration of Biafra is sure. It is not a guesswork. Please note this. It is not a guesswork. The restoration of Biafra is not a guesswork. It is going to happen. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, it doesn't really change anything. If you believe it, it's for your own good. If you don't believe it, it is up to you. Time have gone when we beg people and begin to convince. I'm not convincing you. I'm only reminding you of the reality of today. And we are bringing information to the world for those who we claim not to hear. As na egbe buru nwa ọkụkọ aha na-eti kekekekeke nwa ọkụkọ na-ebe akwa anaghị ebe akwa na egbe ya ahapụ ya kama na ọkọ ha nụrụ onu ya. That when a hawk carries a small chick and flies off, you'll be hearing that small chick crying. The small chick is not crying that the hawk will leave it, but the small chick is crying so that the world will hear its voice, that it cried. That is exactly what is happening today. Our cry is not that the zoo will stop their inhumanity against man. Our shout and cry today is for the whole world to know that we said it, because the time has come for us to defend ourselves, and we are going to defend ourselves with everything in us. Everything in us. I say everything in us. I thank you, that the Prime Minister have interpreted the self-defense for us today. We know the true meaning of self-defense, unlike before. Today, we have known the true meaning of self-defense, and we are going to defend ourselves by all means humanly possible. That is what we have signed up for, and we're going to do it. We are going to defend ourselves with everything in us. And that is what the Liberation Army is doing. So, for you as a Biafran, all you need to do today is to support the Liberation Army. Support the Biafran Liberation Army the best way you can. Keep supporting. Give all your support to the Liberation Army. That is all you owe them today. Put your money where your mouth is. That is a parable. Put your money where your mouth is. Give all your support to the Liberation Army. Invest in it. It is about your life. We must protect our lives. We must fight for our future. We have no life except we do that which is right. And the time is now. I appreciate every one of you that has participated on this very broadcast. Thank you so much for being part of this broadcast. By the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama, I will be back again tomorrow, same time, to broadcast on this same issue. I pray that every one of you who has connected, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to this very channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I come online. You can equally join us and preach this gospel. The coming of Biafra is now. The kingdom of God on the planet Earth, the last miracle on the planet Earth, is about to happen. So, you better accept it. Biafra is a reality. It is not a guesswork. Take it or leave it. Biafra is a reality. Let us prepare ourselves and key in more Biafra. And Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to bless us and prosper us. My fellow Biafrans, I thank every one of you once again, and I pray for all our liberation army, all the forces of Biafra that are fighting day in, day out for us. May Chukwu Okike Abiama protect them. I pray for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. May Chukwu Okike Abiama protect him. I pray for our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guard and protect him. Thank you all for being part of this program. I appreciate you all, and I will see you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move.